Like, oh, damn, damn, so
No,
right
you
now. For sure, for sure.
did he do?
You got, I got you thinking a little bit, right?
Yo, what is up, everyone? I guess my counterpart is off to the side, because I can't see Mister G Man for life. But I am your host, Mister Cornerstone Kev, aka Star Child, aka Shazam, and my co-host, Mister Sergeant G Man, uh, Sergeant Nix, aka G Man for life. We are the host of the hit show on Thursdays at 6:30 to 8 o'clock called The Podcast. Um, I want to first, on behalf of my counterpart, wish you all a very, very, very happy holiday season. Happy New Year. We're on the eve of New Year's Eve, and we're so blessed to have had all of you for half of the year since we've been on. It's been a great journey for us, and I can't thank you enough for all the support that everyone has shown us. Um, and I'm sure my counterpart will not um, will not take in the vein um, what you guys mean to us. You guys mean so much to us, because without you, there is no us. So, and even in the wisecracks, which I see one dude, Mr. Eli M, saying Kev forgot the name of his own show. No, did not forget the name of my own show. It's a podcast. So, but yeah, um, it's just it's just a great feeling to be able to come out to you guys to bring out this material on our beloved Knicks. There's not a day that goes by where we're not thinking about our team and how they can get better, and the somewhat progress that they made this year. It wouldn't seem that way, but I don't know where my counterpart is. I really don't know, but the show must go on, so we're gonna keep it going right now. Um, in case anyone doesn't know, Julius Randle has entered the health and safety protocols. Um, so he'll be out. I think I don't know the length of how long he'll be out for, but oh, I see in here my counterpart. He says I'm in the back. So if Mister Uncle Freeze could get him back on here, that would be great. Um, but yeah, he entered this. Julius Randle has entered this health and safety protocols. I don't know how long he's going to be out for, but I think it'll give us a good chance to see what we're made of as far as if with our leader not being in the lineup. We're going to see where who our leader is. We're going to see where the point production is going to come from, and we're going to see where the rebound is going to come from. So it's going to be a real test to see what we can do. Now we saw it for one stint, and now we're going to see what it is for a period of time, because we've heard all back and forth of who of some people are for Randall, some people are against Randall. Um, some people just want to see what the team looks like without him. So now we're going to see. We're definitely going to see. So that's all really I have to say about it for right now. Um, I guess you can bring on Mr. Sergeant G Man from Life now, if you wish. And no, he's not coming on. So I guess I'm going to keep going. But yeah, it's going to give a chance for everyone to see what. Okay, so Sergeant Nix is still in the back. So if you just give me 1 second, everyone, I'm going to alert my the producer that Sergeant G Man is still in the back. So I'm just gonna let him know this. Just give me 1 second here. Just give me 1 second, guys. Okay, so hopefully they can see that and we'll get Sergeant G Man. I mean, I could do the show alone. No, I'm not. I'm just kidding, Sergeant G Man. I need you. I need my wingman. So, but again, this is going to give a chance to see what this team can do without Randall literally not being on the floor. Oh, and there's Uncle Freeze right there. So hopefully he's getting. And here he comes. There he is. Hello, sir.
What's good,
I
Cam? What's good?
I thought that you wanted me to be solo tonight.
Look, I just want to see you sweat for just a little bit.
Oh,
Just
I sweated. I sweated. You can see. You can see. Do you ever remember the Little Rascals? Remember the Little
yes,
Rascals?
yep,
Remember there was remember the character Stymie.
yes, yep.
Okay. Stymie was sitting on a stove helping his boy, make a I think make a cake.
Mm-hmm.
And Stymie said, "How long do I have to sit on this stove?" And his boy said, "Well, the book says until you're well done." And he goes, "Well, it sure is hot in here." And wiped the sweat, and the sweat went on the wall. And you saw everything on there.
Oh my goodness, boy! Look, you got to bring
Man,
it
oh
back.
man. So yeah, so I felt like him a little bit. So anyway,
So
how you doing, bro? How you feeling?
I'm good, my brother. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the pod couple. Like my counterpart said while I was in
You was in
internet
limbo. You was in
hell
limbo.
for a second. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you was in
I
limbo.
don't know what's going on with the computer. It works when it wants to work, and I just gotta. You guys gotta bear with me. But I would say that just to echo what Cornerstone put out before I came on, we definitely appreciate each and every one of you coming through,
Absolutely.
spending time with us. You know what I'm saying? Sharing in this content that we call this Knicks content that we love to talk about. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna get to it, Kev. We're gonna get to it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So the first thing I opened up with, well, first off, before anything, I gotta mention this to my counterpart. Sergeant, we go back and forth every time.
We do.
And we at first it was very rocky because I wasn't aware of who you were and you
Right.
wasn't aware of who I was.
Right.
But then once we started to really know each other, there's not a day that goes by where I'm blessed to have you in my life. And I just want to say thank you for being, for help. Uh, thank you for help getting this show off to the ground. And it's a blessing to have you as a counterpart. And I love you. Happy New Year.
Hey, brother, I echo everything that you said. We take this thing that we call Nick fandom is unique, right? Because I don't believe that there's another fan base like the New York Knicks fan base. Where I mean, just like you mentioned, there's a whole bunch of people in this Knicks verse that I consider, brothers. I can call them. They can call
Absolutely.
me. for anything outside of basketball, real life stuff. You know
Absolutely,
what I'm saying?
absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
so I definitely appreciate you being who you are and everything that you do. You definitely
Hmm.
keep me on my toes for sure.
Yes, absolutely,
But
absolutely.
like you said, my brother, I enjoy this journey that we're on, this thing we call the pod couple, talking about this next thing that we talk about, but more importantly, just the day-to-day interaction that we have, talking about real life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And same to you,
absolutely.
my brother, you and yours. I wish you
Hmm.
all a wondrous and prosperous new year upcoming.
Absolutely, absolutely. You too. All right, so let's get down to business.
Like I say,
Um,
hey, look, now that we got that out the way,
yeah.
something I'm gonna think I don't like Kev after this episode.
Absolutely. So what I started off with is with Julius Randle entering the health and safety protocols. I don't know how long he's going to be out per se because it seems like whenever one of our players is entering that, it seems like an eternity that they're out. I mean, you saw how long when RJ, when Obi Toppin, when Manuel quickly, Grimes has a great game and then he goes out, and then our boy Deuce McBride has a great game and then he goes out.
Yep.
So now it's like, um, Julius is out, and now I also someone mentioned in the chat, I forget who it was, but our assistant coach Johnny Bryan is out.
Right. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, so to let everyone know, this disease, this virus is real.
It's real.
It is real. It has just gone through like the plague through all professional sports. And what we have to realize is that this is real life right here. This virus can literally kill you. We have lost people from this virus. I've lost two uncles and a best friend from this virus. All right. So when you see people going out for health and safety protocols, and I apologize if I'm going to offend anyone, but it has to be said. When you see one Julius Randle going out on safety protocols, that is nothing to joke around with. All right, because the one thing that the NBA is trying to do is keep the players safe, and that is the one thing that will keep them safe, no matter if you're vaccinated or not. All right, so for people to really clamor or rejoice that he's in health and safety protocols, that's very inhumane. And no one should be joking around about that because this is a human being first. He's a basketball player second, but he is a human being first. He has to separate from his family, from his wife, from his son, and his newborn. He has to isolate. I don't know for how long, so I'm hoping that someone in the chat can tell me how long he has to isolate for. But he has to be away from his family.
Yep.
So please do not be that person clamoring. All right, if you want players to get more playing time, that's fine. I know we've all said that we want the kids to play,
Hmm.
but not to the expense of someone going out on something like this right here,
Right.
because that is very inhumane. That's very inhumane. It's not human at all for someone to be going out because of this virus for anything, even if God forbid if Julius Randle tore his knee out.
Hmm.
We're going to celebrate that now that we can see Obi, one Obi Toppin get more time.
Now,
No, no, life happens. Life happens, and it's the next person is to step up. But in saying that, we cannot rejoice someone going out on an injury like this, injury
I,
or a virus or whatever you want to call it.
I agree. And well said, Kev. Well said. And it kind of brings me to something I was thinking about prior to coming on the show. And it's interesting that you start out this segment with said topic, right? And I'm gonna address. I agree, but I agree with everything you just said. By the way, first and foremost, right?
Yeah, that's a first.
First, yeah, it is, and it don't happen often, so don't get used to it. Do not get used to it. But I would say this, right? Um, this, like you said, this protocol thing is real, and it reaches, I mean, every aspect of everyone's life, right? To your point, we all know people, regardless if they're family, not family, friends, whatever, co-workers, whomever. We know people that in some way, shape, form, or fashion, this thing has impacted in a certain way. How I relate that to what we have going on right now with New York Knicks is this. I look at this protocol situation the same as I would view an opponent, right? We all hear the phrase, and I think it's thrown out, kind of carelessly and kind of not matter factually when we talk about next man up. So when
Mhm.
you have instances like this, you talk about the next man up. So my question is, how prepared is this franchise, is this organization to be able to fulfill the statement of next man up? Is your franchise really prepared? If you got a star player that goes out, do you have someone that can step into those shoes and perform not to the same level, but at least perform adequately to get us over the hump until said person is able to come back? Now, everybody throughout the league is dealing with this. Some people are dealing with it better than others. Some people are far worse than we are. Like
Mhm.
Detroit, they had to go out and almost go into that thing like that. I don't know if you've seen the movie, old school movie, The Fish to Save Pittsburgh, where you got to put an ad in the paper that said we having tryouts, and you just picking people off the street if you got basketball skills.
Mhm.
Come and suit up and get us through this game, right?
Absolutely.
So I say all that to say this, right? At some point, we have to make sure that we are foundationally set so that when you say next man up, you can legitimately look at the next man on the roster and be like, hey, look, Kev, it's your turn, brother. It's your turn to step up. We need for you tonight. This is the game plan. Hopefully that this is how we practice basketball, right? So I know that if Kev knows the playbook just like I know the playbook, so if Kev goes down, then I can step in and not have to try to figure out what I'm doing out here on the court. I'm not out here running around looking like a chicken with my head cut off. I'm supposed to go left and I'm right. I'm supposed
Right.
to be in the post. I'm at
Right.
the top of the key. Come on, man.
Yeah.
These are the things that bother me. And
Right.
when we look at, to your point, and I know we had a early today on the morning drive. We talked about the whole Obi situation,
Yeah.
and him potentially playing, excuse me, in the absence of said Julius Randle, right? I would say it's probably I would give it a 90% chance that Tibbs starts Obi because when Randle was out with the birth of his baby, Obi started for him, right?
Mhm.
I would expect some semblance of the same thing to happen, but who's to say he can't, put a Todd Gibson in there? Who's to say
Exactly. I was saying that. I was thinking that as well. I was
who's to
thinking that as
say
well.
he won't have an epiphany and go way out on the limb and say, you know what, I'm gonna start Kevin Knox.
Who's
Who's
to
to say
say?
that won't happen?
Who's to say?
You know what I'm saying?
It was Kevin. It was Kevin Knox's position before Randall got here.
I'm just saying, man. Look,
Yeah.
I would just say, like to your point, I wish anyone that's in this protocol or going through this thing a safe and speedy recovery to get you back
Absolutely.
to some normalcy in your life.
Right.
Because
And hey, Sergeant, real quick,
yeah,
I totally apologize.
yeah,
I gotta answer this guy who's on here. It says, "Okay, Dad, it's not one of us that gave rent. I didn't say it was you. Yeah, this guy Kaiser Soos 718. I can't even
I
pronounce
just
his name.
okay. I
Yeah."
just,
I said, okay. He says, okay, Dad, it's not one of us. I know that none of us gave it to him. I'm talking about the idiots that are on Twitter that are rejoicing that he got COVID and is going to be out. That's where I'm going through. All right. So for you to say that is again, which I'm about to get off the comments and go to the private chat
I
so I
just
can't
say,
see nothing
you
what to
don't
say. I
supposed to
mean,
be in the
but
chat
it's ridiculous.
anyway.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Everything. So
Oh my goodness!
yeah,
But like you said,
Mhm.
we'll see what happens tomorrow night.
Yeah.
What the
We'll see
lineup
what
looks
happens with
like.
Carmine.
but I gotta feel like we have a slim I guess measuring stick as to how we can look at what we're doing as a franchise right there because the people that we play the opponents that we played against they have been
Uh-oh.
depleted too.
Oh.
So even if they had okay, I'm back. Am I back?
Yes, you are. Yeah.
Okay. Boy, I told you I don't know what's
Gremlins.
I don't know what's
Gremlins.
going on right now. But let's just see where we go, right? And my hope is that we are prepared enough not to come out here and just think of the season.
It's gonna go it's gonna go two ways. It's gonna go in a way. And I'm gonna give you two narratives.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give you two narratives. The ball will move, and we everyone's in position to make a great high percentage shot, and we'll play defense, and it'll help us, win the next few games. So the first narrative will be we don't need Randall. It could go the other way where
Mm-hmm.
we're so discombobulated and people will say, see, we need Randall here.
I, I think I
So we
think
can go,
two things. Two things. Again, it's going to be. It's going to. I think this game today is no different than any other game that we played, to where we have players out for one reason or the next, right? Um, I think that whenever, and we've seen whenever a Julius Randle is on the court, there's a different style of basketball being played versus when he's on the bench for a rest or whatever the case could be. It has been noted that the ball moves a little bit better in most situations when he's not on the court. He has obtained the mantra of being that ball stopper. So when the ball gets in his hands, things stop or not stop, but they don't flow as frequently. Every so often we get in the game to where for whatever reason the ball is moving. It's touching people's hands, and we get those high percentage shots that we're looking for, right?
hmm
I mean, we'll see. I think again that's part of the preparation, and that speaks to the scheme that the coaching staff has put in place. That says how they would like to see the game played down the stretch. Um,
right.
so if you come out and tell me that okay, the offense has to run through Julius Randle. So every time down the court, whenever possible, I need for Julius Randle to touch the basketball. So that is going to kind of narrow your focus to where you're not looking for the high percentage shot. You're looking for how to get Julius Randle for basketball. So that's two different schools of thought right there, right off the bat. So I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll see how
We're
things
gonna
go.
see what happens. What would you like to see?
I would like to get back to the style of basketball that I've only seen probably two times when we're talking about the starters that's on the floor and just ball move it to you finding an open man and make a high percentage shot. I'm simple like that, kid.
Yeah.
I don't need to see superheroes come out and be the person that scores 40 points a game. I don't need to see that. Now, don't get it twisted. If you're able to do this, and at the same time it facilitates the rest of the team being productive, I'm all for it. Feed the high end. I'm with you. Yes. But do not do that as a
At the
detriment to
detriment.
the team.
Yeah, to the
Don't
team.
do that. Don't do that. That's all I'm
Yeah.
looking for. I just
I
want people to I want this basketball team to look like an NBA basketball team. And don't make it look like, I'm at Rutgers right now watching, the neighborhood hero come out and try to cook everybody that's on the floor individually.
yeah. I believe the one thing I do believe, I gotta believe this in my heart, that the ball's not gonna stick.
Well, I would like to believe that as well. I would. But I mean, Julius Randle is not the only culprit in said arena when we talk about the ball sticking, right?
Who else sticks? Who else
Oh,
stick?
you
Who
already
else?
know. My man, my mellow, that he plays in the second unit, and that's one Mister
Oh,
IQ.
IQ.
Yeah,
IQ. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying. So I
Yeah.
mean, again, I got this. I don't know if Tibbs is telling these guys. I don't know what he's telling them. But all I'm saying is, if I can see it, you can see it. Everybody that's watching basketball can see it, and nobody's doing anything to stop it. So that, in my mind, somebody then okay them. They say, okay, this is how we want to play basketball. It's not efficient. It's not productive, and it's at a detriment to what we could be doing, moving forward. So I would like to see that change, but I don't think that during this time. I think during this time right now, we're just trying to get over this hump. We're just trying to get out of the woods right now. We have ventured into the woods looking for blackberries or strawberries or whatever we out there looking for. We done lost our way. Now we're just trying to find look, now we're just trying to find the edge of the forest so we can get up out of these woods. Because you got wolves and everything else in there chomping at your heels, and you're just trying to get up out of there. And I think, that's where we are right
Yeah.
now. But I
Yeah.
will say this, okay. I will say that in any type of situation you find yourself, it presents an opportunity for other people. Just like when we talked, the announcement we were talking about last night, all these young boys that Detroit had playing, that they probably would have never seen that amount of playing time had their team not been in the situation they're in right now. But that's an opportunity for them, right? That's an opportunity for them to get out there and showcase their talent. And maybe it may not be with Detroit, but maybe there's another a team out there that says, hey, you know what? I can use Cornerstone Care. What's his contract look like? Who's his agent? You y'all give
Right.
him a call. Whatever it could be. I bring that up to say, is it does this afford Kevin Knox another opportunity to get some playing time?
Yeah. It's for the life of me, it puzzles me so much that Tibbs won't use him in the rotation. It really does because Kevin Knox has all of the tools of a small forward slash power forward. He has the body of a small forward slash power forward,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not used. He's not
Until
used at all.
until he is forced into a situation where
Yeah, until he forces his hand.
yeah, yeah.
And I know people are gonna say, well, he plays no defense. Well, has Randall been playing defense? You know?
I mean, we can
How
make up
many
people can make up narratives to fit whatever their argument is, right?
you know
All
what? Yeah.
if if,
Go
if
ahead, go
you
ahead.
if
Go
you're
ahead.
paying someone, right? If you're on my if I'm paying you a salary, then I'm gonna need to get something for that money that I'm paying you. Now I'm not saying you got to play this dude every night, but I will say you have the potential to. I mean, I'm not saying to do these 20, 30 minutes a night, but at some point, when things like this happen, when you put into a situation to where you're gonna need him at some
Right.
point, then at least the first time that you see him is when's the last time he played a game? What,
I,
five,
I
6 games ago? If that, and it
probably
wasn't for that
before
long.
that. Probably before that.
That's all I'm saying.
Here's one for you. Here's one for you. I got a great one for you.
Yep.
I got a great one. Who plays better defense? Him, Kevin Knox, or Evan Fournier?
Oh my God, man, look, don't even get me started. You
That's
know,
what I'm that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Is
and,
Evan Fournier only on the floor because of his contract, or is it because of his defense?
it's definitely not because of his defense. I can see that.
Exactly. Exactly.
100%. When they hired him, they didn't hire him for his defense. They hired him in lieu of him not being able to play defense. Right? That's what happened. But the what was supposed to be the upside to get him on his contract, he has not fulfilled it. I mean, he has not been able to fulfill that on a consistent basis. Right? He
Yeah,
has
I don't
to get off.
right. Yeah, I don't know if it was you or who I was talking to, but it's one thing if you could all right, so on your starting five, it's obvious that all the players in your starting five can't play defense.
Right.
Um, but at least 4 to 5 you would expect to. It's kind of so you could hide one of those players, the one that's not very defensive minded. You could hide him.
Right. You have the potential to, depending on your opponent. Yeah, I give you that.
Right. You can't hide two players.
No.
You can't
No.
hide two. So, and I forget who it was. So if your backcourt can't stop anybody, it's gonna be hard to win games.
Yeah, I mean, you can't get into the.
But the thing about it was, right. But the thing about it was, their offense was supposed to carry. You're supposed to be able to live with their lack of
lack
defense.
of defense, right? I mean, even that, you got to be smart enough to know. And again, I've never coached in the NBA, right? But
We never will.
you got to be smart enough to know. And we said this on the morning drive. We talked about this on a couple different shows. You got to be smart enough to know that it's not beneficial for your organization to have Kimba and Evan on the court at the same time. For the point that you just named.
Right.
So if Kimber's going to be out there running the point, then you need to find somebody to play the two that can at least play a little bit of defense, just a little bit, right? Just a little bit.
Right.
And then you can kind of swap them out from there. They got to figure out what their rotation looks like based on who's available. But it's hard to watch, kid.
It is.
It's hard.
It was hard last night.
Yeah.
It was hard last night. Oh my God. It was. Oh, gee. I'm not gonna lie. Now we're both big, humongous Knicks fans. Man, I turned it off halfway through the third quarter. I turned it off halfway through the third quarter, and I was going to accept us losing to a team that has the potential to have the number one pick in the draft.
Right.
I was all ready to accept that. It wasn't until I started looking at Twitter again that I saw that we were making a run. And then finally the missus said, turn the TV back on and watch the end of the game.
I will say this about last night's game. One of the bright spots that I did see was the ability of Tibbs to play the second unit significantly. He left those guys because I said they had played. Actually, it was ending of the third quarter, going to the fourth, and I said, you know what? If Tibbs brings the starting five back out here to start this fourth quarter, I'm legit gonna get him. I'm gonna walk from my house to the arena in Detroit.
That's a long way to Detroit, boy. It's cold. And it's cold too. It ain't like what you in right now. Ladies and gentlemen, if you notice Mr. G-Man for life, he's got shorts on and everything. So imagine him with jeans or whatever on growing up to and I don't think it's the Palace anymore that they play at. I forget what.
I forget
if anybody in chat can tell us where the Detroit Pistons play at, that would be great. But
I was glad to see him start these guys again, and then whatever the rotation was to get the starters back out there. He did what he had to do. But I mean that gives me a little bit of hope into where I believe that I don't know if it's because of the people that are in and out of the rotation or whatever, but I'm seeing a little bit more flexibility in the amount of playing time that these different players are getting. Even with the starting of Grimes last night, I would have started Grimes.
You think Grimes? Yeah, you think he was shook? Not shook, but do you think he was prepared to start?
I would say yeah. I just don't feel like in that setting it wasn't designed for him to thrive. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way that the first unit plays. It doesn't lend to what his strengths are. So again, anytime you, I believe that when you talk about a Grimes, when you talk about a McBride, even RJ to a certain extent, these guys flourish when it's an up tempo basketball game. This
Right.
half court nonsense where you come down, you go post up in the corner, and you stand there, 13 seconds into a 15-second shot clock, and then you make a move. Come on, man, who does that? We do, and it's not working. But that's what
Yeah.
that's what we need to do. So even when RJ, when he does drive to the basket, it just seems like everybody's in the paint. Out of 10 people that's on the floor, 8 of them in the paint. So I mean,
We're
we
gonna
don't
learn.
stretch the floor.
Yeah, we're gonna learn a lot more about RJ now. We're gonna learn a lot more about RJ because I mean, let's be real. He hasn't gotten the criticism that a Julius Randle has been getting, and rightfully so for Julius Randle getting the criticism. But people have been very light on RJ this year, and this is his third season.
Right?
So I think a lot of those whispers are going to start to materialize if he has a poor showing within the next few games right here, because he is the number three pick in the draft,
Yep.
and it looks like between the three that were picked, John Morant is the one that's becoming the real deal.
Yep.
Out of the three, it was supposed to be Zion Williams, and it was supposed to bing bing bing, and it's just looking like it's just John Morant that's outshining the both of them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
So
God is doing this thing for sure.
yeah,
Uh,
he really is.
again, I don't know if, and again, RJ just coming back from protocol as well. So, this thing affects people different ways. So
Yeah,
I can't sit here and begin to, try to tell you that, yeah, RJ is 100% or whatever the case may be, and he should be doing X, Y, and Z. I can't make that claim. What I can say is I think that um, the the productivity or lack
yeah,
thereof that you see from RJ
yes,
on the floor is concerning, right? And Freezy had this conversation or this question on the morning drive the other day, and I want to make sure I don't misquote him, right?
oh, misquote him. Go ahead.
No, let me get this right. The question was, is it time to remove RJ Barrett from the rotation so that I think it was Grimes or who was the other person? I don't want to say quickly. It was one other person. I know Grimes was one of them. So that these guys could get playing times. And at the time that he said it, I was like, Freezy, you have
Yeah,
lost your ever
yeah,
loving mind. But
yeah. And I was one of those people that echoed that sentiment. Like, what are you talking about? You don't unless he's truly trash. You don't remove somebody like that from from your starting lineup.
I agree, but Kev, I'm telling you, that very next game after we had that conversation, and I took me and Sam was on a watch along, and
Yeah,
I said then I was like, and the whole time I'm watching RJ play, I can hear Freezy's voice in my head. I'm like,
yeah,
he just legit said this, and I'm sitting here watching. I think Grimes had a good game that game.
yeah.
RJ didn't do so well. Grimes,
No,
that's a game Grimes came in and showed out. RJ not so
yeah,
much. Not so much at all. So I'm sitting here thinking that there maybe be some validity to the question that Freezy poses. Maybe not taking him out of the rotation, but at least out of the starting lineup. But
well,
who do you insert in that place, and how do they play?
exactly.
So
You can't. You can't. So again, this is going to be RJ's time to shine without having to literally give the ball up to a Randall because he's not there, to a Kim. Well, let Kimball, bring it up. I know Karen Fung in the chat said that she wants um she wants Tibbs to rest him.
Kimber,
Which, yeah, he wants to rest him because it seems like he's coming back to earth just a little bit. Unless last night was just an admiration.
look, yeah, it's on.
What do you
It's
think?
on
What do you think?
It's
Go
look.
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
First of all, he should have been, in my opinion, he should have been playing back to back. Especially if you got that
No.
was a perfect time to rest him last night. You playing against a depleted Detroit team. Come on, man. And you just came off a game the night before. First, I understanding they had a late flight, so they arrived in Detroit late. So that means everything else was pushed back. You just came off a game where you played almost 40 minutes
Mhm.
with no rest, and then you're gonna throw them right back out there again.
Hey, real quick, is this the is for this year? For this year, is this the first time we won both back to backs? I mean, a back to back this year.
No, no, I have to go back and look, but I don't think so.
I think it is.
Road games?
No, in general,
Mm, I have to go back and look.
I think it is. I think each time we had a back to back, we either lost the first game and won the second, or vice versa, or lost both.
Yeah.
If anyone in the chat could point that out to us, that would be great. If we was this the first time that we won a back to back this year? If you could let us know, that'd be really good. Um, yeah, he should have sat out yesterday. He really should have, because the thing about it is you have a Deuce McBride who could play all 4 quarters. He could
Yeah,
literally
no
play
way.
all 4
Yeah, no way.
quarters.
And this is one thing that just kind of the thing that kind of adds to that point would be this. And I know people talk about we want to make the playoffs, blah 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 blah. But if Kemba Walker's playing this many minutes now during the regular season, how do you think he's going to look come playoff time?
You know,
He's done. He's
no.
going to be done.
Real quick, thank you to my boy, a real friend of the program, one and only the Delano Steele Jr., Mr. DSJ, the originator. He did say that on back to back games, yes,
That's the first one.
that was our first one.
Okay.
That was our first one. Yeah. So, and then he said something else is oh, now he's just messing with me. So anyway, I love you, DSJ. Love you. Yeah, you know what, you bring up a great point. If we have the inkling of even going far
Mm,
in the playoffs,
mm.
um, and we have to depend on his knees, that's going to be a problem,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
because we already know that Derrick Rose is going to be compromised.
yeah. He got his ankle problems right now. Man, look, I'm like this, right? I'm of the belief, and again, being in the military, I kind of look at things in sections or sectors. I prioritize things, right? So right now, where I'm at in my headspace, I'm looking at the 25-meter target. That means that's the target closest to me. That means that's the target that can potentially do the most harm. And that would be, first of all, let's get a team together to where we can at least achieve a 500 season. Right? Let's start small first. Let's get there first.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Um, he mentioned Sergeant G Man mentioned that he was in the military. You know what his specialty was? Peeling potatoes. That was his specialty. Peeling potatoes. All those potatoes that everyone eats and everything, he was peeling them. That was his specialty. Keep
See,
going.
this is how you watch too many TV shows about really cool people killing potatoes, right?
No,
Because we
just
don't do
Woody
that here.
Woodpecker.
We
No,
don't
just
do
Woody Woodpecker.
that. But I say all that to say this, right? Again, it goes back to being foundationally sound. Next man up, and everybody being prepared when the numbers called and it's their time to get out there and show them.
Yeah.
And that's how this team needs to be built. That's how this team needs to be played, so
Yeah.
that the people that are on the court are actually contributing and not just bodies out there to get the ball to one or two people that's on the court,
Right.
and at a detriment to the rest of the team, right? So, I mean, if I'm telling you right now, if I don't see ball movement tomorrow night, I'm gonna
That's going to be.
lose.
Oh, that's going to be a problem off the back.
I'm gonna lose
That's
my
going to be a
money.
problem off the back.
I'm gonna lose my
Absolutely.
money.
That's going to be a problem off the back. And everything. Um, what else?
But I see the smoke coming out your ears right now.
Yeah, it's coming out, man. It's coming out because your boy in one Obi Toppin, I think is going to have a miraculous few games coming out.
So I'm on record of saying I was not. And Freezy got me this morning. Look, he put that carrot out there in front of me, and I went for a hook, line, and sinker, bro. Look, I saw red, and it was on after that. It was on and popping.
Yeah.
He probably was like, G Man fell for the okie doke. I did. I ain't gonna lie, I did. But I had said, I'm gonna have to get back on my horse here. I'm not gonna speak for Obi. I'm gonna let Obi's actions speak for Obi. Right? At some point,
Yeah.
Obi needed someone to defend him. I think at where we are right now, he is legitimately in a position to
But you
defend him.
understand what I was saying earlier today, regards to Obi, how not everybody in the league
But yours at the same rate.
matures at the same way.
Yeah, yeah. I said the same thing last year.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
I mean, it was obvious that again he had no March Madness, he had no combine, he had no summer training camp,
Some league. Yeah.
had no summer league. Well, there's a training camp before a summer training camp before the
Before
summer league.
Cole. Yeah.
He had none of that, and then what? He had like what? I think a day or two of real training camp,
Then he got hurt.
and then got hurt.
So
So already he was behind the 8 ball.
I tell people this, and you know, Obi, anytime if you go back and research his career, any place that Obi Toppin has been and played basketball, it takes him a year to get his stuff together, to find his footing, and then he goes on and does whatever he does, right? And last year was his year, regardless of
Right.
what pitfalls that he fell under. That was his year to go ahead and say, okay, this happened, this happened, this happened, and then right after the playoffs,
Right after the playoffs,
maybe a week off, and he's right back in the gym working on his game.
right back at the lab.
So
And that's the definition, like you always say, of improving your craft.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And that's his craft.
yeah, yeah, and I get it. I get the fact that people will say, well, Obi's just a rim runner. He does this. He's one dimensional. He can't do this. He can't do that. Okay, so you have to realize this also. There is no clock that nobody's telling Obi Toppin, okay, Obi, tonight, since we're playing said opponent, I'm gonna play you. Make sure that depending if anyone gets in foul trouble or anything like that, I plan on subbing you at the 8-minute mark, and then I will leave you in until this mark in whatever quarter. So you have a designated amount of time that you can go in and do your thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what Obi does, he goes in, and as soon as he touches the court, he's got to be impactful from the word go.
Yeah.
Then at the same time, he has to be cognizant of any little mistake that's made on his part, or that can be perceived as his fault. Tibbs got a hook on him, saying, "Come on over here, come on over."
That's a problem. That's a problem. Oh, and what was the other one today? I forget who was. I think it was Ethan that said that he's already put a cap on his potential already,
Stop.
and that
Stop.
he's only good in the open space.
Stop.
That he can't play. That he doesn't have a half court game.
Look, I'm gonna tell you something, man. I don't.
I was listening to all this, and I was like,
It, it's funny to me. It's funny, but it's not funny, right? And again, like I said before, we all watch basketball from a different lens, right?
Mm-hmm.
So someone that has had coaching experience, whether it be junior high, high school, college, semi-pro, um, uh, what do you call it? Not the summer league, but
Um.
AU,
J-
um, AU
what do you?
basketball,
Yeah.
whatever the
Yeah.
case
Yeah.
is.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So you will watch the game different than a novice that has no coaching experience, right? So the
Mm-hmm.
person that has played ball on any one of these levels watches the game different than the person that has coaches and have never played.
Right.
That person watches the game different than someone that has never coached and never played and is just a fan of the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
you have to take all these things in consideration as we talk to people and we listen to their opinions. And
Right.
all these opinions are value, right? So I don't get all up in arms when someone has, what I may consider to be just crazy, a crazy thought process, but they're looking at it from a different lens, and I have to realize that they're looking at things from a different lens. But
Right.
at the end of the day, what we all want is the same thing, and that's for the Knicks to be successful. I would ask that. My ask would be, and most of the time, I'm not gonna say most of the time. Sometimes people have, and again, you can formulate your opinion, or you can gather stats or whatever to support your opinion or your thought, which is great. You've done that due diligence to do that, but also understand and recognize that's not the end all to be all. That's all I'm
And, yeah. And well, here's the thing. And Hard Will. That was on Freezy's show earlier. We all have opinions. You might not
saying.
agree with my opinion. I definitely know no one agrees with my opinion. But we all have opinions, and nobody's opinion is written in stone. You can bring up
It's an
all the
opinion.
facts you want.
It's an opinion.
You can bring up all the facts you want. It's still going to be your opinion.
It is. It is. It is.
So, like for instance, I mean, I know everyone, um, thinks I'm the biggest Frank Ntilikina fan.
You're
Still
not.
am to a point. Exactly. Exactly.
You're not.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
Ooh, boy. Okay.
But because I supported him because everybody else was crapping on him anyway.
Right.
And and we know what those facts are.
Yep.
How many coaches did he go through?
It's a few.
A few.
A few.
And you would think that he was going to get significant time because of a defensive coach that was coming that came here,
Yeah,
and that didn't happen.
Yeah, that didn't work out.
And that didn't work out. But he's in Dallas right now.
Yep.
And I've let that go.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. But everybody had their opinion of him. I had my opinion of him. But he's not. But at the end of the day, he's not with us anymore.
But we still talk about it.
We still talk about it.
See?
But in my defense, who brings him up?
Hey, I think it's like
Be honest. Be honest. Be honest.
so listen,
I haven't brought him up, have I?
you have not. You've tried.
Okay.
You have tried to refrain from mentioning said individual's name, right?
Yes.
But I promise you, people know how to poke the bear. And with you,
Yes.
that point is
Yes.
Yes. Will
Yes.
always be. Will
And
always
then they try to poke me again with Luca Valdoza
Yeah.
early today.
Yeah. So my Achilles heel is one Mr. Sharif Cooper. Remember that? Remember how I was about to down the sword for Sharif?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean,
Absolutely.
we live and learn. But and Jermaine Ruster had a great point, right? And I'm listening, and this is why I say I believe Obi. I don't have to speak for Obi anymore. I'm still a huge Obi Toppin fan. Don't get it twisted. I don't. No, look, I'm probably Obi's number one fan. I'm telling you right now. That's why he got that number one on his jersey.
I would believe that.
Look, but don't get it twisted for one reason. So for all the naysayers, and I'm waiting for it right now. Now, if Obi comes out tomorrow and has a killer game and exceeds all expectations, then the narrative will be, oh, the opponent was this, that, and the third. Oh, this person didn't play. Oh, this was happening. Oh, the temperature in the gym was set as this. Or, it was raining outside and somebody had water on. It's going to be something. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting. But all I do at the end of the day, I just sit back and I smile. Because, what's going to end up happening is this. You can only hold a person down for so long before at some point in time, you're going to have to come to the realization that what you said about saying individual, it may have been true at the time. That's not true. It's not true. It's like if you got kids, right? The same person your child is at the age of 9, 10 years old is not the same person your child is at 16, 17 years old. Right, wrong, or indifferent.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
but your job is to go ahead and educate, nurture, and put your child in a position to where he or she is going to be successful in life.
Be successful in life.
That's your job as a parent, right? As a head coach, your job is to be able to put these players in situations to where they are able to thrive and be successful and be an asset to your organization.
No matter what their contract looks like.
I don't care about contracts. But again,
Exactly.
that's me. I can say that. You know why? Because I don't have some dude that has hired me and is paying me millions and millions and millions of dollars to go out here and coach this team. But because, whomever said individual is has ties with the agent or that person's uncle's cousin's brother. And he's saying, my guy's not getting enough showtime, and he just got this big shoe contract, and I need to see him on the court. And if you don't put him on the court, then that may be doing something to your future reinstatement of your contract. You know what I'm saying? So all these things weigh on a person's mind, because I'm telling you right now, I can't say for sure that this is happening, but I can definitely tell you it's not outside the realm of possibilities of it happening because of how much. First of all, who picked this person, whether it was a draft pick or whether it was a free agency move. The size of that person's contract matters of how much time they're going to see on the court. Now, it's going to take a bigger man than me to go out, because I'm not going to jeopardize my livelihood. You telling me I got to play Kev for 10 minutes? You figure out how those 10 minutes come. Right? On the floor for 10 minutes. Okay, I'm going to have to figure out how to make that happen. And you could be the worst player at this position that we have on the squad. You could be the 15th man on the bench. But somebody's calling me and saying, hey, if I don't see Kev tonight, it may not be good for you, G-Man. So I'm going to have to figure out, hey, Kev, come here, bro. This is what I need you to do. All right. So at the end of each quarter, right? At the end of each quarter, I'm going to play you 3 minutes at the end of each quarter. So be ready. Don't go in there and make no fool out of me. I just need you to go. When you get in the game, go stand in the corner. Go stand in the corner. Don't worry about that. Just stand in the corner. Move from time to time. Act like you're doing something. Look, I'm telling you. I mean, that's a little bit over the top, but that's not outside the realm of possibilities of when we talk about, how much these guys play, how much playing time they get. Because I'm telling you right now, there is no sane person on this planet that enjoys watching Evan Fournier pick you.
No, I don't. I know I don't. At all.
And I'm sitting here trying to figure out, if you got to be watching the same game I'm watching. Now, on a good day, he riding hips. On a good day. And for him, for me, and Evan, I'm like this. If I see him on somebody's hip, that's a good defensive play for him. Because normally he's standing at the back looking at the person that he looking at Mitch like, Mitch, here he come. Man, stop playing right now.
What's that movie? What's that movie that Goldie Hawn played in Wildcats with Wesley Snipes and all them? And in the middle, when they got the real heavyset dude um was was playing in his first game. He's
Yeah,
on the line and he's like, hey, how you doing?
it was
Oh,
real
don't
friendly.
mind me. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Hey, don't mind me. It's
yeah,
all yours. That's what
yeah,
Evan Fournier
yeah.
was. And
I'm telling you,
and then
man.
you see Mitchell Robinson like, yo, man, I can't
How did he get here? How did he? I'm telling you, man. It's like this, right? Again, I believe in my heart of hearts that no one in the Knicks organization wakes up in the morning before they come to the arena and says, "I'm gonna figure out how to go into this game and lose." I have to believe that these guys come out and they're playing to the best of their ability in the circumstances in which present themselves at the time. But again, this is why I go back to the coach. I could be great going to my left, right? But if I know I've been scouted and I see within the first 3 minutes of the game, people are taking away my left, I, me going to the right is a non-starter. So I need to do something different. We need to rotate somebody or something. But I'm not the guy that at this point in time that needs to be in the game.
All right, so I'm doing. Unfortunately, I'm doing it again. Um, Quality Jumper says, he's a Nick.
Yeah.
Stop bashing Evan. Hey, listen, he's doing it all by himself, not being defensively minded. So that's on him. All right.
Kev, this is why I tell you to stay out in the chat, man.
I
This is
know.
why I tell you to
I
stay out
know.
in
I understand. I understand, but still,
the
I
chat.
had to throw it in there
Hey,
because
look,
all we're asking him to do is stay in front of your man. That's all we're asking you to do.
stop, somebody.
Stop
Anybody.
somebody. He doesn't stop anyone.
Look, I,
Give me one of those guys from Argentina that's or Spain or wherever they're from. My man that's at Denver. I forget his name. And who's the dude that played for Washington that was torch us?
name them. Pick one.
Pick one. Yes, exactly. I,
Look, I say this, Kev. I would say that our team has the potential to move on and do better things. I don't say great things. We have a potential to move on and do better things. But I think from a management standpoint, the team, the time that they're on the court, that needs to be managed better.
we got a god. We have a god in the we have a god in the chat here. We have one Mr. Nothing but Knicks, Mr. Sim, has graced us with his presence. And you know what he says? Kev, you know Evan Fournier is one of your favorites.
I just read that. I just read that.
Sim, we love you. Sim, we love you.
Salute, Sam.
Salute, Sim. Salute, Sim. We love you. We love you. Cricket hat and all, we love you.
And on a real though, real
Yeah,
talk, real
yeah.
talk.
Real talk.
I believe that Evan Fournier has a place on this team if utilized in the proper manner. Again, when we talk about we bring these players in from other organizations, and we have these expectations of them coming out and being these great basketball players that's going to elevate our team to the next level. So, number one, the people that we're talking about are bench players on another team, but you bring them here as a starter and expect for them to do what?
You see, honestly, I don't remember him being coming off the bench when he was with Boston.
Who?
I don't remember. Evan. So you're telling me that Tatum was the small forward and Jalen Brown was the power forward? Is that what you're telling me?
I don't think I have to go back and look because I wouldn't follow Evan Fournier that close when he was in Boston.
Yeah.
So I have to go back and see what was it. I don't know if he was playing forward or if he was playing guard. So I'm not even sure. I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie. So but again, I'm just saying, regardless of what he did in Boston or in Miami. I guess that was the pretense for giving them all this money and bringing them into the
No,
Knicks.
not Miami. Orlando.
Orlando, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Orlando. Giving them all this money and bringing them in here to do whatever. You're supposed to be able to come in here and and I have to scratch my head with these things, right? You are on a team once removed being the Orlando Magic. Okay, so you've left Orlando, you've gone to Boston, but I'm gonna bring you in with the expectation of you giving me the productivity that you had in Orlando. But that's not really what you were doing in Boston. Help me to make sense out of that. How does that make sense?
I can't.
But again, this is what I think Freezy always says this. The MVP of New York Knicks organization right now is the PR department, bro. I'm telling you. They will put a spin on stuff and make you think that they could sell you oceanfront property in Arizona. That's how good they are. I'm telling you. If you listen to them, they will do it for you.
Mm-hmm.
Started for the Orlando Magic. Yep, I know. But how long ago was that? How many years once removed was that? He started for Boston too. But
Yes.
I'm just saying, all that means absolutely positively zero to me when we talking about the Knicks.
He started 11 of 16 games for Boston when he was traded over there.
Okay. 11 to 16. Okay.
Mm.
Mm. But I'm not going to turn this into an Evan bashing situation.
No. We won't. But we're just calling that, like we see it and everything.
And people got to get. This is what people got to understand. Right? When we start talking about players, or what they do, what they don't do, what we would like to see them do. Again, that's an opinion. That's what we hear. We hear voicing our opinions, right? And we try to put some factual information to that, so you know how we arrive at said opinion. I'm just telling you this. I've been a Knicks fan my entire. As soon as I could start watching professional basketball and knew what professional basketball
So
was,
that was back in 1955 or 56.
somewhere around there, the turn of the century, somewhere around there. That was right after we stopped having to get the ladder to take the ball out of the peach basket. It was right around that time. You know what I'm saying? But you know, um, at some point, I just believe, just watching the game, there are different avenues that we can take to make us a better team without having to do a whole lot, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not. I don't know. And I always talk about. We talk a lot about the symptoms to the problem, but we never address the root cause.
The root cause of the problem. Yeah.
So you can listen. If you keep going out, touching stuff, getting all these germs on your hands, and then putting stuff in your mouth, touching your hands, you don't get sick. That's a symptom, right?
That's like
Wash your hands.
That's like touching a reptile and not washing your hands and catching salmonella poisoning.
Wash your hands.
That happened to me.
Wash your hands. Okay, first of all, stop touching stuff. That's the more stop touching stuff. And then but still wash your hands. So if you're telling me that we have a weakness at the two position because the two or the one are lacking defensive paralysis in their gameplay, we knew that coming in because this is how it was explained to us. We said, or we were told that. I'm sorry. Let me go back. Let me go back one step further. During the playoffs, it was said that the Knicks needed shooting.
Mm-hmm.
So we went from there and said, okay, so we're gonna go out and get some shooting. But that's not what your head coach asked for. That's not what your head coach asked for. Your head coach was very specific in what he wanted. What we got is not what he asked for, but that's what we get. So they went out and they said, okay, well, we're gonna go these two. The first player they went out and actually got was Evan. And then Kimber was supposed to be the feather or the carrot that took us over, right? But coming in early in the season, that didn't really pan out. So what do we do? As an organization, we said, okay, we're going to remove Kemba Walker from the rotation. I don't know how we get to removing Kimber before we do something to Evan, but that's what we did. That's what we did. We
Yeah,
removed.
real quick, I'm gonna beat DSJ with an aluminum bat. So I just want DSJ to be prepared because I'm gonna come to his crib and beat him with an aluminum because he's on a roll with the both of us. So
He says, went to Iraq with a musket and a bayonet.
yeah,
And
I'm gonna
you know
yeah,
what?
and he said for me, I have a Luca Baldoza jersey, Argentina jersey in my closet. So I'm coming after him. You know how when Rambo told so and so that he was coming after him, I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
But you know what? This is what I love. This is why I love the people that come through and spend time with us because we all one big happy family. You know, it's like being
Yeah.
at a cookout. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm,
It's like
mm-hmm.
being at a cookout. It's all good. It's all good. Jermaine Russell says G-Man was telling the security guard at MSG that Willis. Willis you know, look, hey, Jermaine, and back then I was only making like 50 cents on the dollar. So, you know, it was hard times, but I can go get me a Coca-Cola. Y'all probably too young to know this, but you know, you used to put a quarter in the machine or 50
Yes, yes,
I had to pour the bottle
yes,
in the machine.
yes.
Oh, come on, man.
No. Here's the one. You put the money in the machine. You open the door and pulled out the
That's
bottle.
what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
For sure.
And I'll give you a better one. I'll give you a better one. I used to go to Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama, during the summer months in my youth.
Yep. Most
And
people in North always went down south for the summer.
yes, so down south, Sundays was church day.
All day long. Yep.
All right. So my aunt always gave me money to give to, for Sunday school.
Yes.
The
Gotta get Kev didn't do the Kev. He a city boy. He didn't give up his ties.
One day I did not. And I said I was saving it to get the Sprite.
See?
That was in that thing.
See? I already know how that went.
And when the Sunday school teacher told my aunt,
yep. Mm-hmm.
She said, "Your butt is mine when we get home."
There you go.
Luckily, she forgot. But because back then they didn't use no belt, they used switches.
Yeah, you had to go out and get your switch.
Let's get you a switch. No, she didn't trust us, so she went and got the switches. So, but luckily she forgot about that.
Otherwise, says G-Man was at the garden when they had cigarette machines inside.
Do they still sell? They don't have cigarette machines anymore, do they? I don't think they do.
No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think this are nearing the deal to land Rondo with the cat. Really? Oh, wow. Breaking news. DSJ says Cleveland and Lakers are nearing the deal to land Rondo with the Cavs.
Oh yeah, you know why? You know why about that? Because Rubio tore up his knee.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, Rubio tore up his knee. So that push that was coming off the bench, because I don't think he was starting. I don't believe he was starting.
I don't follow him, so I have no idea.
Yeah. So they had to do that. They had to do that. So that is.
So
what?
This is the last one right here. So
yeah.
Jermaine says G-Man saw Buck Macklin wrestle the Iron Sheiks. Now, what the crazy part about this is, you ain't not too far off because I remember both of them wrestling at MSG, bro. I tell you, look, man, stop. Stop playing right now.
The Iron Sheik.
The Iron
and who was he paired up with? Who was his tag team partner?
Oh, I can't even remember.
He was a Russian.
They both wore the turbans though.
Well, one wore a turban and the other one wore like a Moscow hat, right?
Yeah, like Genghis Khan. I can't remember what his name was.
Yeah,
that's
when we enjoyed wrestling back then.
Hey, look, that's when you couldn't tell me that wrestling wasn't real, bro. When I used to watch wrestling, if you had to try to come to me and tell me wrestling wasn't real,
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, absolutely.
We had
absolutely.
You mean to tell
Absolutely.
me when I see Ric Flair get bleeding all
Yeah.
about the place because Dustin
Yeah.
Rhodes will beat his brains in, that wasn't
Yeah.
real?
Yeah. Yeah.
Man,
Or
look.
or how about when Hulk Hogan was going against Roddy Piper and all of
Oh
them.
man, look. I'm
Yeah,
telling
man.
you
And
that,
then
that,
Mr. T
that
got involved in it too.
oh yeah. And when you start bringing these celebrities, it took me a minute to get realize that hey, this is for entertainment, but it was good. He actually
What did
was.
Delano say? Delano is a mess. Delano
Look,
is on a roll.
he owned one tonight for sure.
He
For
is
sure,
on
for
a
sure.
roll. Give him some butter because he's on a roll, man.
For
He's on a
sure.
roll big
But
time.
Kev, just to get back to the Knicks talk real quick.
Yeah.
These next couple of games we got is going to tell us a lot. Not necessarily. Not. I'm not looking for a lot necessarily in the wins and loss column, but more so, what is the direction of this team? And I asked this on the morning drive this morning. Where are we going? What is it that we're trying to accomplish? Because right now I'm unsure. I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Do this. Here's the thing. I want to see what we look like with Randall completely off the floor for a
We about
long
to see
period
that.
of time.
We
So
about to
we're
see
gonna
that.
see. We're gonna see that. And again, it can go two ways. It can go a way where we're very successful, and then the narrative will be we don't need Randall,
Mm-hmm.
or it can go south and say,
Mm-hmm.
"See, I told you we needed Randall."
Right.
You know who will be at that who will be at the head of that narrative if it goes south.
Yeah.
Our very own Mr. Josh Uncle Fulio.
So I'll say this right, and I would say that Obi is not going to have a good game every night out of the box.
No, he's not.
That's come on. That's being crazy, but that's what the naysayers will focus on, and that's
Hmm.
fine. That's okay. I have no problem with that. That's your prerogative. Focus on what you want to focus on. But at the end of the day, what I want to know is these games that we're going to start to play here over the next couple games, especially during the stretch. Um, that oh, guess who's in the chat? Kev,
Who's in the chat?
my brother,
Your
my
your
brother,
mother?
brother, my blood
Bro-
brother.
oh, who's that? Mr. Brian.
Yep,
Okay.
yep. There you go. He's
Hey,
up there.
Brian. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and all that jazz.
Yeah.
I'm
So
trying to be
ladies,
nice to your brother.
no, he's
That's
not.
why I'm being nice to you.
No, he's not. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you did not know, that young man that you see in the chat, that is my brother. We were both birthed from the same womb, so make sure don't get on him too tough.
I think Brian looks better.
He is not. I'm not asking. He is not a Knicks fan, but he's a very sports centric guy. So show him some love. You know what I'm saying? Show him some love. But I say all that to say this, Kev. I want to see us formulate a plan, stick to said plan, in order to develop this team one way or another. Whether we are developing a team to attempt to make a playoff push, or if we're saying that we understand that playoffs may be a reach right now, if we want to develop a foundation for the team, being the young guys moving forward, and then as we need to add vets into that equation, we can do
Yeah.
so. But I
G-Man,
need for us to make a decision.
G-Man, let me ask you a question.
Yep.
Are you under the notion that if we just play young, that we A won't make the playoffs and B we're tanking?
No, I'm of the notion of this, kid, because in a normal season without protocols, you may be able to make that argument, right? But any team that we come up against in the coming weeks, months, or however long this thing goes on, you never know who's going to be available, who's not, and then
Yeah.
the narrative will
We've seen games canceled because
yes,
they don't have
a
a
room,
full a full
yes,
a
a
full
roster,
roster.
yes. So I would say that do not let do not let the outside world dictate what you do as an organization. Regardless of who you're playing or who's not playing, have a plan. So I just need to modify my plan based on who my opponent is. Right now, we don't have a plan, Kev. We have
Hey,
no plan.
hey, even the Avengers had a plan to bring how to bring everyone black. They
Yeah,
at the time. Yeah.
we don't have a plan. Right now, we just wake up in the morning and scratch our behind, eat our toast, take a sip of your coffee, and go outside and hope your car starts so you can make it to work. Who does that? Stop playing. Stop playing right now, ladies and gentlemen. Stop playing. I'm telling you, after all this is said and done, I need a plan. Somebody gonna have to explain what the plan is. And I know we talked about before. We were good with the front office being quiet and not saying whatever. Okay, don't say nothing. Show me in your actions what it is that you plan to do. Show me. But something needs to happen. What we're doing right now is not going to work long term. I'm telling you, it's not.
Up to this point with the front office, do you think this front office is better than the previous front offices,
I
or you
believe
on the or do you think it's still the same way?
no. There are things that the current front office is doing better than the previous regime. I.e., we don't have a lot of bad contracts out there right now. It took us a minute to get out from all those bad contracts, and they're not signing a lot
Yeah,
of
but
bad.
Steve Mills kind of got us out of those bad contracts as well.
It was a start, but that was the start of changing out that front office regime. I just believe that, just like anything else, I believe that the front office was oversold. I think that they made promises that they've not been able to keep up to this point because the front office coming in, the whole narrative was because of X person, I can get X person to come to this team. That has not materialized thus far. So I still reserve, I guess, judgment on the front office. But what I can tell you is this, and what's not healthy is the front office and the coaching staff are not on the same page. That's destructive.
Why do you say that? Just give me one thing of why do you say that?
Because when the head coach stands up and tells you, I need X player to come play for this organization, and you go in the opposite direction, how are you on the same page? I'm telling you what I need to be successful, and you do the exact opposite. And then you expect me to win.
So instead of going after Kemba and Fournier, we should have went after Oubre.
We should have went after someone. I'm not no names, but I'm telling you, we should have went after the type of player that the head coach asked for. Because he's analyzed who he has on the squad, and then he comes to a decision that says, I need X type of player to bolster this current roster. Well, what you do? You go out and get me a 6 foot guard, and how tall is Fournier? 6'5", 6'6"?
Yeah,
If that,
yeah.
nowhere close to 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", and in a different position. What are we doing? What are we doing? Man, look, I need to know what the plan is. I need to know what the plan is. Bottom line up front. And I'm telling you right now, and I know we're coming up on the top of the hour. We got about 7 minutes left. And I'm going to say this because I've been on my soapbox all night. Yeah, but I'm going to say this, bro.
Yeah, you still stink.
So when you're on the soapbox, don't mean you're taking a bath. It just means you're standing on the soapbox. That's all.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
That's all. I'm just telling you this, Kev. I believe that in these next coming games, I believe Obi Toppin is going to gain some fans, and he's going to shut up a whole bunch of naysayers. And when it happens, I'm going to be sitting right here waiting on you.
Oh, I agree with you
I'm going to
totally.
be waiting on you. And you look, you ain't got to come and say, "Gee, man, you were right. I was wrong." That's not what I'm looking for from you.
Oh, I'm just saying a
That's
word.
not what I'm looking for. All I want you to do is come in and say, "Obi, I apologize." That's all. You ain't got to say nothing. Just put it in the chat.
I'm
Obi,
still wait. I'm still waiting for Sim to do that. I'm still waiting for Sim to do that.
It's all good. But ladies and
Sim,
gentlemen, go ahead and give your closing thoughts, Ken.
well, again, I want to wish everyone, um, fans that are on the chat now, fans that are watching, fans that couldn't be with us tonight. I want to wish you all a very happy New Year. Um, do not um, do not fret over the problems that our Knicks are having because they will work themselves out somehow, some way. I mean, if that means that we're not going to make it to the playoffs, it means we're not going to make it to the playoffs, and we'll get a good enough pick. If we do go to the playoffs and we get bounced in the first round again, that means that we're still doing something wrong to get us out of the first round.
Right.
If we get further past the first round, that's progress. No matter what we're seeing, right now, we get past the first round, that's progress. So, but again, I want to tell everyone I love them. Thank you so much for being a part of our journey, our continuing journey, because the Starship Enterprise is going to keep going. And I wish you all a prosperous new year. And that's all I have to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages.
I can't see children watching this, but keep going.
To echo my counterpart, I concur. We wish you all a prosperous upcoming new year. Do be safe. Wash your hands, wear your mask, because that thing is out there and it doesn't discriminate. It doesn't care what your income level is. It doesn't care the color of your skin or what the religion is. Protect yourself, protect your family, make sure everyone stays safe. I look forward to the upcoming days of what we got with these Knicks going on. I think that we get better as we go. I mean, we learn as we go, and it's going to be what it's going to be. I just look forward to the next debate on wherever it is and however it comes, because as Knicks fans, we always, always, always remain passionate fans. Hey, again, thank you all for coming through. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Like if you have not done so, and let YouTube know that Knicks fans are for real, and we're serious about what we see and serious about what we do. You know what I'm saying? So, Uncle Freezy, on that note, my brother.
Oh, wait a minute. I got to mention one thing. Alan Wise says Randle's going to have 2 negative tests by tomorrow. Yeah, I don't see that happening. If that did happen, good Lord.
Yeah. Freezy, take us out of the building, bro. Peace.
Peace, guys.
Okay, Freezy not here.
I guess Freezy not there yet.
Oh, so I guess some ad-lib time. Oh.
Yeah, ad-lib. No, don't dance. Don't dance. Don't dance. Don't dance.
Hey, I did want to shout out my brother real quick. Hey, thank you for coming through, bro. I appreciate it.
Brian, thanks so much for coming, man. I appreciate it. I've been lenient with him, so you don't have to put that target on my back now. And I don't have to keep looking over my back. See, Brian reminded me of the Predator. He reminded me of the Predator. He waiting in the trees and got that target thing, that target thing.
The triangle.
The 3 thing. Just scoping me out, and then gonna fire that gun on me. That's him. That's him. I gotta keep looking over back. Like, where the Predator? Where the Predator? Where the Predator?
I'm gonna go out saying, hey, start Obi. That's all I'm gonna say. That's the only thing I'm gonna say about Obi tonight. Start Obi. If you don't start Obi tomorrow, I'm gonna be upset. And everybody know that, but I'm gonna be upset. For sure. Start Obi. Let's start the Obi Toppin movie. I need for everybody to go to their Twitter page right now and let the Knicks know who you need to see at the 4 position. So there's no question.
Yeah.
Go out there and we're gonna start the Obi movie.
You know what else? I think more fans cheer for Obi than they do Randle.
They do. Obi is a crowd favorite, bro. I'm telling you, if you don't know, have you seen Obi in the garden? And every time he gets in the game, every time Obi Toppin is somewhere close to the basket, everybody in the garden stands up.
It could be said that last year's playoffs, the highlight was him and his mother crying.
Yes.
And his mother crying.
Obi is going to be that next guy. Before long, I'm telling you. Obi's about to reach that status, man. I just need him to give me some consistent minutes. I need for him to develop that mid-range shot. And if he can manage a moderate percentage from the 3, oh my God. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
But see, here's the thing. I just need him to develop a short jumper. If he can develop a short jumper from there, I'm good.
That's good.
I'm good.
Hey, Freeze in the building.
Freeze is in the building. Freeze is in the building.
Thank you for coming out. God bless.
God bless y'all. Happy New Year, guys. Happy New Year's.
Hit the button.